welcome to a new vlog and video of the cruise vibes, and today we're going to take a look at the 6th and 7th day on board of the Jane Austen, the two last days on board of this cruise with ReiseJung, and as always this video has been done in cooperation with ReiseJung. We are in Koblenz and Hanau in this video, so we spent the last day in Koblenz and then we're heading back to our home port of Hanau. Day 6 was the 1st of January in 2025, so we started the day quite slowly with a brunch instead of breakfast and lunch. So breakfast started a bit later and was continued later as lunch with a selection of cold and hot meals. There were a lot of ships around on this day as the Mosel River was closed. Maybe you heard about this. There was a lock broken by a ship and therefore a lot of ships had to reroute their New Year's cruises. So there were a lot of ships here in and around Koblenz trying to find an alternative. I started the new year quite relaxed with a New Year's walk. First I headed to the Deutsche Eck, the German corner you could translate it to. That is the confluence of the Mosel River and the Rhine River with a famous statue. And from there I went on to the cable car of Koblenz. With the cable car you can go over the Rhine to the castle Ehrenbreitstein, and from there you have a fantastic view. I haven't been on the cable car for quite a long time, and also I was looking forward to my skiing holiday, which was just a few days later, so I wanted to take the cable car. Here we are leaving the station and now we're heading across the Rhine, gaining some altitude to get to the castle Ehrenbreitstein, and you have a fantastic view from the cable car, so I can highly recommend taking that cable car. So here we are above the Rhine. Here we can see the Deutsche Eck again, and the higher we get the better the view is getting, and soon we will have a view over the whole of Koblenz and the river Mosel and the river Rhine. So big recommendation, if you're in Koblenz, make sure to try the cable car. And here you can see the fantastic view. Deutsche Eck on the right side, Mosel on the right side, Rhine on the left side, and the city in the middle. Once you arrived at the top you can visit the castle, of course. I didn't want to visit the castle today because it was New Year's. Yesterday was a long night with a great party, so I was not in the mood for cultural activities. I just wanted to have a nice long hike. In the background you can see a bridge on the left side. I will walk back over this bridge and back into the city center. So I just took the cable car one way and I'm now walking back into the city. That's a quite long walk, but that was the perfect thing to do for me on a New Year's Day. So most visitors are now going to the right to the castle, but I'm going down this path here to get back into the city. First it starts off like this as a path, but it will be a proper hike. As you can see here, just a couple of minutes later it's going up and down. It's almost a difficult hike, so that was quite nice. And what's also quite nice is that you're walking almost all the way around the castle, and in the end you even walk through a few parts of the castle without having to pay. Here you can see another possibility to go up to the castle, but I am continuing walking. And as you can see, I'm now getting closer to the castle, and here I can even walk through a bit of the castle. This is an official way, you don't have to pay to go through this part here. And from here you have another fantastic view over the city, and as you can see, a lot of cruise ships here in Koblenz. And then there was this interesting way, also this you can use for free, and it will bring you straight back down into the city, and then you have to walk quite a long time along the Rhine to get to the next bridge to cross the river. Usually there's also a ferry, but I think it was not operating on this day. As you can see on the left side we have fantastic weather. On the right side there was a pretty black sky, so I was a bit worried that I might get wet, but I got back to the ship before it started raining. Here we can see the castle of Koblenz, and here we can see the castle Ehrenbreitstein on the other side of the Rhine. I was then walking into the city center of Koblenz. Very beautiful city, so also make sure to visit the city itself, of course. If you're here for the first time, it's a must to see the old town of Koblenz, a very beautiful German city. And then I slowly walked back to the ship. We were docked in first row together with the Viva Moments, another ship of Skilla, and then it was slowly time for our departure. We left during the sunset. We're heading out backwards out of the river Mosel. Right in front of Deutsche Seck we're gonna go into the Rhine, and then we're continuing upstream to our home port of Hanau. So the sail away in Koblenz is pretty spectacular, as you get to see the Deutsche Seck, you get to see the cable car, and you get to see the castle Ehrenbreitstein, which is beautifully illuminated in the winter time because there's an event called Christmas Garden in the castle. I heard it's not that good, but I've never been there, but what I can tell you for sure is that the castle itself is looking amazing, but for that you don't have to go up. The best view you have from the sun deck of your cruise ship. Here we can see the cable car, and in a second we can see the beautiful castle. Here you can see it pretty nicely illuminated, looking fantastic. And now we're heading for the Middle Rhine Valley, so we're gonna see a lot of beautiful castles. Here we can see Castle Stolzenfels, this is the first one. It's still illuminated, so quite nice to see. And here in the background we can see Castle Marksburg, the only castle in the Middle Rhine Valley that hasn't been destroyed, so it's in a perfect condition, also beautifully illuminated, beautiful sight. There are many more castles, but we won't see them as we are passing them in the night. But here we can enjoy the view of the Marksburg in a small village of Braubach. And then it was time for a fantastic farewell dinner with a nice carpaccio, very good soup. And I decided to go for the salmon as a main course. Of course, here you can see a double portion. That is, of course, always possible to order. And that's it for the last full day on board. On the next morning, it was unfortunately already time to leave my wonderful cabin, and we started with the disembarkation. Of course, on this day I have a lot of work to do, so I couldn't film that much. So here the guests have already left the ship. And then it was also time for us to say goodbye to the wonderful Jane Austen. Here we can see her in the port of Hanau. A quite rare sight to see a ship that is usually sailing on the River Seine in France in the port of Hanau. But as I said, due to her time in the yard, in the shipyard, she was doing 2 cruises on the Rhine. And that's it for this series. I hope you enjoyed this series. We will continue with ship videos, but with a completely different ship, so make sure to watch the next video. Here you can see when it will be uploaded and the name of the song. As always, I'd like to say thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to comment, like, subscribe or share the video link, and I hope to see you in my next video then.